Okay, so for this build, I have a just shitload of scrap pieces of 2x4. Got these from my brother who works in a wood shop that makes pallets. So they had a bunch of these. Apparently they're almost begging them to just take them so they don't have to deal with them. So got a bunch just as little, just short pieces, couple little longer. Did manage to give me a couple that are decent sized. And then I just had a couple more lying around from spare stuff. Got some 1x. I don't know if I'm going to use those yet. My original plan was I was going to kind of wrap those around the outside so that way you don't have a thick border. But then I started thinking about it might just be better to build the frame out of just 2x4s as well. So I'll just kind of get all these cut out and see how I'm feeling once I get that done up. My main plan is I'm going to cut all of these to where they are the same width as a 2x4. Ignore all the lines drawn in. That was from a plan that I'm not going with. So either way, if you don't have a brother that works in a wood shop making pallets and can't get hold of a bunch of scraps like these, honestly, 2x4s aren't super expensive. I mean, they're more than they used to be, but I mean, you're not gonna, go broke trying to buy them. So yeah, just a bunch of those. I don't know how much I'm gonna need. I'm basically just gonna start cutting them out with my reciprocating saw. I would use my radial arm saw, but with as short as these are, my hand's gonna be a little close, and I kind of like my fingers. So reciprocating saw it is. Anyway, I'm gonna start getting these cut out, and well, see how big I want to make this thing once I start getting them stacked. Okay, so to cut these, pretty simple. I just took a speed square. Don't mind the fact that it's broken. Measured it out here to 3.5 inches because the 2x4 is 3.5 inches this way. Width wise? Yeah, width, 3.5 inches. So just gonna take that, marked it, just stuck my speed square, a straight line here. Now I'm just gonna put it in the vise, take the reciprocating saw, cut along that line, and do this over and over again until I have what I need. Honestly, I'm thinking if I had a bigger saw and just a whole stack of 2x4s and cut them, that'd be the better option. But I'm working with scraps I got for free, so I won't complain too much. I will complain though. Okay, now that I have all these cut out, I think there's like, I want to say like 72 of them. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 72 of them. So that was quite a bit. They're not super even, but I don't think that's going to matter too much since it's more of a just a stop as opposed to like, supposed to be a flat surface. But either way, so I dug up a couple more of these. These are just some other pieces I had in the scrap bin that just happen to be, if you like kind of stagger them like so, they actually line up pretty well. And I'm gonna use that to basically make my outside. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece of plywood behind it, cut it to actually fit the back of this, then permanently screw it into these, probably with also a little bit of wood glue just to kind of seal everything up. Also gonna put wood glue in there as well. Then I'm gonna go to the back with a bunch of much shorter screws and put them through all of these. Now, a lot of designs I found for this actually use like wood glue to permanently hold them in place, and that would be a reasonable thing to do. But I also like the idea I got from the Zombie Go Boom, which did this design too, where they use the screws of, as long as you can replace them when they're worn out, the screws allow you to actually replace them. So that way you don't have to, completely redo the whole thing because, this spot is completely ruined. You just remove this spot, cut a bunch more, and then you still have a good target without having to redo it. So I'm gonna get some screws in my drill, get the frame cut up, then measure out the back and get it cut, and then basically just add a bunch of screws. Well, 72 of them, actually. I have an exact number. I just want the record to show that I am not a carpenter. Whoops. Okay, now I got that screwed on. Yeah, as you can see, all those little dots are places I'm gonna put screws, little screws. Yeah, I'm gonna hate myself by the time this is done. Okay, now that I've got the main target actually done, I just need some way to stand it upright so that way I don't have to lean it. Honestly, I've seen people just hang them up, but I want to do a little more just because I don't have anywhere to hang it. So what I'm gonna do is I got these other two scrap 2x4s that, according to my brother, are off of a pallet, which is why they're longer than the rest. But I'm just gonna screw them onto the side there with a bunch of screws, got it marked about 5 inches in, put some screws. I might put a brace on the middle, I don't know. I'll definitely put one at the bottom, so I just take a cart and just wheel it around. I think that'll be beneficial. So I'm gonna put some screws in that and then put something in the back so that way it doesn't fall over on me. And then we're ready to play around with it. These screws suck ass. Okay, just kind of added this beam to the back, just a random piece of just sawmill stuff that I had lying around, nothing special. Now I've got myself a nice throwing knife target. Yeah, I might just slap some paint around like the outside of it, just kind of weatherproof it a little bit more, but other than that, yeah, basically just made from junk I had around the shop and some screws. So, yeah, it's kind of a fun little project. And I finally have an actual throwing knife target that I don't have to throw down. That'll be nice. Like every throwing knife target I had is like, this is like the top of it. So, yeah, be kind of nice to play around with.